everybody, welcome to number 27. I'm Jack and this is Pepe Jr. or Pepe the Second as I called him. I think Pepe Jr. works better. So today I'm going to Pug1OFF. They're the really amazing Peugeot experts who worked on the original Pepe for me and who know 205s, 106s, all the little Peugeots and Citroens really well. So Matt's going to look it over. Now I paid quite a lot for this car, I think 8,400. If you think about the fact that this was actually a cut price model and cheaper than the GTIs and is now more expensive, it's quite an interesting thing. But in any case, the reason why I paid quite a lot for it was that in theory it should be quite a good car, because I know that the boot floor has been redone, it's fairly clean, the rear beam has been rebuilt, it's got new shocks, although that's part of the problem, we'll talk about that in a second. You know, it has had some money spent on it, and then the owner who bought it in between also did quite a bit of other work to it. He did the valve stem seals, he did the work to the gear change, he put a new manifold on, he put new front wishbones on, so he has, you know, so this car has in theory been looked after. So that's the good news. The bad news is that as it is at the moment, I'm really not liking it. Why is that? Well, the exhaust is just too droney, it's just ridiculous, and you know, the engine, the 1.6 litre, it's not exactly a charismatic engine, so it doesn't really add that much to the experience, apart from just being a complete pain. Also, it is quite a bit stiffer than when I drove it for my video. I suspect that's probably the Bilstein B8s that it has on it. I saw a comment from somebody, sorry I've forgotten your name, saying that B4s are a bit softer and can work a bit better on the road. So I'm going to look into that, but I don't know. So it's not, I mean, it's driving all right, it's okay, it still has, you know, that sort of heavy steering which I like, and the potential is there. I don't know if you're near it now. At 60 it's 3,000 revs, and you've just got this droning buzzing in the background, and it's just not great. And yeah, and it's too stiff for me on the road. I think part of the appeal of these hatches is how they sort of float down the road, and this doesn't. So we'll see what Matt has to say about it all, and then see what little improvements I can do. But it is lovely round the corner, it really is. Right, how's it looking here?
So, this is the area where they commonly rust.
Yeah.
And still coming away. It's solid, it's an MOT pass.
Yeah. Just needs sorting out.
I've seen a lot worse.
Yeah.
On a 106. Similar thing going on there. Just starting to separate.
Yeah.
Seen a lot worse. But
yeah.
And this is another area they go on the back here. Yeah. Again, solid, but you can see the beginnings of a little bit of corrosion there. For a 106, it's not bad.
Good.
The axle has been rebuilt, like you say. This is another common one as well. See the brake load compensating valve there? That's stuck in the heavy rear end position there, where it's seized up, and then it's taken the lowest setting and seized itself there.
Okay.
So you're getting too much brake pressure to the rear.
Okay.
We'll free that off. It's just a case of penetrating oil and a good shake.
Great.
Drop links are all okay. No major oil leaks. Now we were looking for that play in the gear stick.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can see, if you get the camera in there, you see the selector moving on the back of the gearbox.
Oh yes.
That is a play in the pin that locks it to the selector shaft.
Okay.
That can be fixed.
How easy or?
Replacing the pin is very difficult without taking the gearbox out.
Wow.
But there's, I've got a method for that, let's say.
Okay.
Right. Drive shaft inner gator there is split.
Yeah.
That one's doing. Ball joint gator there is slightly perished.
Yeah.
That's not going to be long before that fails an MOT. Any split in that to fail.
Yeah.
not too bad under here. The alternator belt wants doing really. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
The cracks in there.
Yeah.
It's not ready to snap, but it's that would be a service item.
Yeah.
Powerflex bushes on the anti-roll bar. You know about that, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
You can see up here the issue with the steering rack.
Yeah.
There's no boot on the end here to keep the dust out.
Yeah.
And same on the inside.
That it's cracked
It's
on the other side.
a pack of gaiters, yeah.
Okay. Apart from that, yeah, everything else feel okay?
Everything on the front feels tight as I expected because it doesn't.
Good.
So we found the compensator.
It's stuck,
The
right?
rear brakes is seized, so we've just sprayed some penetrating oil at the hinge. We're just working that back and forth to free that off.
Okay. So why is it there in the first place?
The idea is when you've got more weight in the back of the car, it automatically adjusts to apply some more brake pressure to the rear.
Yeah. So there's the quick shifter, which I know some people love, and it is quite a good quality item from BM, wasn't it, Matt? Baker BM. But I think if we have time, we're going to remove it today because I just prefer the longer shift. Right, so Matt's just changed the gaiter on the steering rack there, so that's great. He had a bit of a hassle with that, I saw, but he's done that. But also, he advised, so this is a manual steering rack, Rallye, and it comes in two positions for the caster there. In terms of if you have the power steering version, it's in one position. If you have the manual steering, like this does, the manual rack, then the caster is changed to make it a little bit easier to steer, a little bit lighter. But in terms of outright handling and the way it goes, it's better with the other caster position. So he's changed that, and now we're going to do a bit of geo as well, and hopefully I'll make it feel even better. Really happy with my visit to Pug1OFF today. Matt was awesome as always, and Pepe Jr. is already driving loads better than before. So we removed, there's two quick shifters that had been put in. There was one towards where the front sort of shafts are, that's been taken out, but also Matt sorted out the slack that was in the system. That's made a massive difference. There's still a quick shifter here, which is the gear lever itself. I am on the lookout for a normal one, so if anyone has one, please let me know, because although it's miles better as it is, I could probably live with it now, to be honest, but I think I still prefer the original longer throw. And the other thing Matt did was he changed the gaiters on the steering rack, and that's awesome because that looked like a real pain in the backside job. And of course the work he's done on the geometry at the front has made it feel even better. It's just awesome. It's a little bit lighter now off center, but I don't quite know how to describe it. It just feels great. Once you're in the corner, it loads up like before, but I don't know why they don't run them with the caster like that in the first place, because to me it definitely feels nicer like this. The exhaust, I'm not sure what I can do about, because this is a Scorpion full system, so it's actually, I think, pretty good quality, but I don't particularly like the sound. So I'm just going to see what else there is available, but potentially, again, if you want an exhaust, let me know. And it was a real relief to find out that Pepe Jr. isn't a complete dog. I mean, I didn't think it would be, because I did buy it from a friend, but you never know with these cars. 106s are particularly prone to rust. So it's good that it's a nice, solid little car. I think I'm going to do a bit of work just to put a stop to that surface rust, the bits that are left. But apart from that, it's all looking pretty good. Thank you all so much for watching. Keep an eye out for the next video, and I look forward to seeing you soon.